Hey everybody, Randy Schwantz here, and I want to talk to you about this concept I think of as just very simply growth simplified. You know, when you start to think about how do I really grow my agency, one of the reasons that some people struggle with it is it's too complex. There's too many things going on. And so I want to just simplify things a little bit. Number one, this is you. You are the chief growth officer from now on. You know, you might be the entrepreneur, you might be the owner, you might have a big book of business, you might be everything on the planet, but somewhere along the way, you're the chief growth officer. Somebody has to be that, boom, that's you. Well, in addition to that, you've got this person here called a producer, and there could be one or many of them. We're going to call him or her Billy Blue. Billy Blue's this. So then let's go talk about what is Billy's job, your producer. And I want to really simplify that. So what's Billy's job? Well, Billy's got three things Billy has to do. Billy has to prospect. Billy has to sell. And Billy has to retain. And so if you can get Billy prospecting, selling, and retaining, you're going to grow your agency. And so now you think about this. Why does Billy prospect? Well, there's really only one concrete outcome we need from Billy, and that is to set quality appointments. That's it. If Billy would set more quality appointments, more than likely Billy would sell a lot more insurance and your agency would grow. And same is true. And so one of the reasons that agencies are kind of stuck and not growing at a faster pace is producers don't set enough appointments. So we're going to talk about that more in a moment. Number two, Billy's job is to go sell. And as Billy sells, the real outcome is to go win the business. We don't want Billy out quoting on stuff. We don't want Billy quoting on small stuff. We want Billy winning business, and you know that. And then the last thing here is we want Billy to go retain the book so he can go grow a humongous book of business. So Billy can make a lot of money, save a lot of money, build a huge personal net worth, take care of his family, have a good lifestyle. And for you, when Billy does that, this is a great place to work and you're going to grow fast. So that's Billy's jobs: prospect, sell, and retain. Now let's talk about what's your job. Well, as the CGO, as the Chief Growth Officer, your job is pretty simple too. You've got to train Billy, you got to then coach Billy, and then you got to go develop Billy into a big-time producer. And so, what do you train for? Well, very simply, we train to build skills. Because everything that we want Billy to do, there's a skill associated with it. There's a skill associated with making cold calls. There's a skill associated with red hot introductions, all leading to appointments. There's a skill associated with understanding his or her differentiation. And the more that they understand that there's a skill associated with getting good at this and articulating it, there's a skill associated with then building to retain this stuff. So you got to train for skills, just like any good coach with on anything. And then you got to come over and you got to get Billy to perform. So this is like game time stuff. If this were basketball, Billy's out there playing basketball, you're Coach K, and during the game, you're sitting there going, Billy, do this. Billy, okay, boom, 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 boom. You're coaching live. You're helping Billy do a great job. That's coaching. And then you got to come over and you got to develop Billy into a much better player over time, and a lot of that comes through accountability. Accountability being at practice on time. Accountability to learning your playbook, Billy. Accountability to lifting weights and getting stronger. Accountability to building, building. And so your accountability. So when you think about your job, I'm really going to simplify it: train, coach, and accountability. So here's a part of the Bignition program. To help you do that, you need what I think of as a playbook. And so we use the flight plan as the core playbook. And it's all around getting producers to prospect, sell, and retain. So let's start at the front of this thing. So we want Billy out prospecting. And basically we have two ways. Number one is to get Billy setting cold call appointments through a thing that we call bold statement appointment setting. So this is Billy Blue. When he calls a prospect, you want him to say something that, boom, pops the prospect's mind. This is a prospect, gets the prospect to really think about, holy crap, I need to talk to this guy. And so that's a training process, that's a coaching process, and we got to create accountability around that. Secondly, we've got Billy Blue over here. We want him to also set appointments by what I think of as red hot introductions. So we know that Billy has clients that he can leverage, and his clients know people that he wants to meet. There's one, there's two, there's three. So really, that's the two primary ways that you as a chief growth officer can hold your producers accountable, train them, coach them, all sorts of stuff. Two ways to prospect. They're simple enough that you can go do it, boom. Once that happens, then the primary thing is what? They've set an appointment. Now let's go get them ready to go on the sales call and go win the piece of business. Well, how do we do that? Well, you know, what we know is that we've got right here is that we have the name of a business. We've got buyer one, buyer two. We have an incumbent agent that has it now. And now we got to get Billy, that's our producer, to articulate how he's better than the bad guy. And so the way we do it is in a crisp sales meeting. This is a coaching process. And we just make Billy think through, if they got that guy, why do they need you? And just work Billy through those different things. What are they? What do you do, Billy? And they're all associated with Billy understanding his proactive service platform. The more Billy understands loss control, claims management, exposures, limits, deductibles, understands different things on transportation, driver safety programs, SODAR, all this sort of stuff, how to market the account, narratives, picking carriers, all this sort of. Billy's got to be responsible for knowing this stuff. And as he does, now he'll come up with a better strategy to go on the sales call and go beat the bad guy. This is the bad guy. Let's call him what he is. He's got Billy's money right now. Boom, there it is. So then he's able to go on the sales call, leverage that stuff, and now he can go do the wedge, which is really just about getting him to leverage that differentiation to get the buyer to discover that the incumbent is not doing their job. So now we go back. Here's another way we simplify growth. There's a bad guy. Here's the good guy. There's the bad guy. Let's not focus on how we're going to go sell the prospect. Let's go focus on how we're going to go beat the incumbent. That's our real problem. If we're better than the incumbent, getting this person to articulate it or understand it becomes easy. If we're not better than incumbent, it becomes hard. And our secret to being better than incumbent is this stuff. So hopefully that all makes a lot of sense to you. So Billy can then go on the sales call, wedge out the guy, come back, present it, win it. What we call wedge proof it by putting the service timeline in place. Now here's the things that he said he would sell. Let's create the service timeline. Bignition makes that really easy for you to do. And then go cross-sell by bringing in your partner and getting them in. So that's the flight plan. So let's go back and look at this again. Producers have 3 jobs: prospect, sell, retain. You have 3 jobs: train, coach, accountability. When you've got a common way of doing things that we're going to call the flight plan, then it becomes easy. And you have a playbook, and you have training, and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. Hope that makes a lot of sense to you. We're going to come back. Next thing I want to take you through is what I call the 4 pillars. The 4 pillars of success for every producer. All right. Thanks.